Welcome back. So nice to have you with us again today. And we have, once again, Sheri Ryland, our resident therapist, here to help us get through the holidays. And you know what? The holidays are tough to get through. She's got some amazing advice for us once again. So, hey,
Hey,
Sheri.
how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I think, like
Yeah.
everybody else, stressing, with all the holiday stuff. And I'm getting married just in a few days.
Oh
So
my
the
gosh.
holidays have
Okay,
taken
so
on a whole
holidays
new
are coming,
meaning.
right?
Yeah.
Holidays are coming whether you like it or
It's
not.
Thanksgiving and marriage, and then I don't even know what's after that.
Right. Well, I guess we never really do, right? So just enjoying the moment as much as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In some ways,
So
actually, it takes the pressure off because you just kind of forget what's next. It's like tunnel vision. I
tunnel
got to do
vision.
this one thing.
Yeah, which is true mindfulness, staying in the moment, right? So when we're thinking about the stress of the holidays and we're thinking about going home and um like I go back to when I was a kid, or I'm sorry, when I had children and my parents had to make a decision of who we were, or be part of the decision, I guess, of where we were going to go, like having a new family, having new kids, and I was very lucky that my in-laws and my parents were good about the idea of, okay, so we'll do Christmas Eve with the in-laws and Christmas Day with my parents. And so that way it wasn't so overwhelming for the kids. But I do remember somebody saying that it was, this is our family now, so we get to make the decision.
Hmm.
And I was very lucky that my parents felt that way. So when you're thinking about the idea of being home with your and having your children home,
Hmm.
as a parent, now that my children are older and they're having to make decisions about who they're gonna spend it with, and having and being divorced, and my kids making decisions about, are they gonna go to their dad's house, or are they gonna go to my house? And I don't want to be the reason why my kids are nervous about coming home,
Right,
right? We don't
100%.
have to. And I got used to that when my kids were with their dads part of the time, with their dad. But being able to say, Christmas doesn't have to fall on that
Oh,
day. It's still
exactly.
the same thing, whether it's on that day. Same thing with Thanksgiving. I think this might be the first year we're having Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving. Um,
No,
so
I
yeah.
totally get it. And it's been a growth point for me, going through losing my husband and feeling like I was so alone in the world, and my boys wanting to do everything they could
Right.
to help me be okay. It became like, well, who's going to be around for the holidays? And it took me a year or two to go, okay, in the last 5 years, both boys have gotten married.
Mm,
Both boys have a lot of other considerations. And you know what? The day really isn't what matters so much. It's just,
right.
I feel so blessed just to get to see them. But I've had to grow up enough to say, you know what? We don't have to celebrate Christmas on the 25th. If you guys can be here on the 23rd and we can all be together, great.
And what a gift you're giving your kids.
Well, and I don't want, like you, I don't want to be the parent that stresses them out, because then they're going to show up at the door and I want to be there. But it does take growth, I think, as parents and as a family in general, to have some flexibility with the
Right.
holidays, to be more generous, and that isn't that
Right.
really what the holidays are about?
Exactly. Right. And that's when we go back to the idea of, what's the reason for the holiday? Why are we coming together? Do we really want to be together? If we really want to be together, then it shouldn't matter what day, right? So allowing for that, allowing for us to have the grace to know that it's really hard to have little children.
Yeah.
Um, Go to 12 houses in one day, or I mean, I
Mhm.
know I'm exaggerating, but that's what it feels like when you're
Sure.
doing it. And usually as a young mom, it's really, that mom is like at her wit's end, and then that child is at their wit's end.
Oh, yeah.
So really, if you're able, since you're able to do that, that makes it so much better for your family. People are more likely to come and have a laid back, fun Thanksgiving or Christmas, and where it's about the kids or it's about the connection, right? So where we forget that it's the arguments that we're worried about, but what about the connection? Why did you want to be there in the first
That's the
place?
whole thing, is the
Yeah.
connection. And I used to be very attached to, I want this beautiful Christmas, this amazing Christmas dinner. I want it really
Yeah.
elegant. I want fabulous food. I want everybody.
Right.
It didn't necessarily create a fabulous good time. I mean, we have some great memories, but
Right.
I'm at the place where, and I might really do this time, because I don't have it at all worked out. I've said to
Oh, wait,
everybody,
what? You don't have
yeah,
it all
I
worked
don't have
out?
it worked out.
Are you going to survive that?
I think I might survive
Okay,
it.
I think that's good, right? So being able to say, I don't have to have all the answers. I don't, it's not a big deal if the plates don't match, or
Right.
if we're going to eat our turkey dinner, which for me, I don't want to eat turkey anymore. I'm going to have ham or something
Yeah.
different, right? If I decide I want to eat that on a paper plate, is that really going to destroy your holiday? For some people, it might send them right into an anxiety loop. So for you, would that send you into an anxiety loop?
At one point, yes.
Okay.
Not now. And actually, I was having a discussion with the kids. I've got one set of kids in New Jersey and one set in Alabama, and I'm in South Florida. And I mean, and everybody works or goes to school. Nobody has a lot of time.
Right.
So, it's kind of this new place in life where it's like, okay. And if we do get together, I'm not a very good cook anyway, but, but all my kids are good cooks, but it's pressure, to
Right.
cook a big prime rib roast or turkey or whatever it is.
Right.
I literally had the conversation last weekend with my kids in New Jersey, and we said, you know what? We just might order out barbecue for Christmas
Absolutely
dinner.
right. So what did you just let go of?
A lot of attachment
To
to
what?
things that don't really matter.
Exactly.
Because I'd
right?
love more than anything for just everybody to be together for a little bit and to have a blast.
Because that's the point of it, right?
But that's growth on my part because everybody who knows me
Absolutely,
knows
right.
I like a really big, kind of more formal spread thing. And
Right.
that's not where my life is right now.
Well, and that's the thing, is being mindful of where that is, right? Where are we all at? If you're the only one that's in that space, what are you doing it for? It's so that you can look better, so that you can be the top person.
No.
But nobody really cares at the end of the day. Trying to say that to my mother about, like, I'm just going to grab a glass. No, it has to match, right?
Yeah.
Which is definitely not my personality. But when you think about that, the connection between people is more about the interaction.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody cares whether or not. I mean, some people do, right? If I was paying for it, I would care. But if it's just us being together, that's the important piece, right? So if you can look at it that way, of this is about connection, this is about the importance of being together, this is not about trying to heal old wounds, this is not, and sometimes that does help, because we're just having a good time. We're just focusing on, why are we there? We're letting go a lot of that.
Right.
So how do you feel about being with your children and all the other past stuff that's there? Are you bringing that to holidays with you?
Yeah, I think just as in so many other parts of my life, in the survival journey of surviving the tragedy of losing my husband, their father, and what we've done as a family we're not the same family we were when he was
Absolutely.
here, but we've managed, I think, in a increasingly beautiful way to create new family. But it's just like my definitions of success have so dramatically changed going through
That's
grief
good, yeah.
and sorrow. My definition of what a holiday ought to be and what I want out of it, I just want to connect to those amazing people who are my family, and all the rest has fallen away for me.
And I know we've talked about grief before, right? So when you're dealing with grief, you're missing that connection of that person not being there for the holiday, right? So that's a huge thing when people are coming home and you're in holidays, and that person who has always been there is no longer there. And how, like, for you, are you able to bring up your husband at Christmas?
Yeah, I think one of the things the kids and I learned really early, that one of the ways that helped us heal and that also honored their dad was to tell the fun and funny stories,
Yes.
because he was a hilarious human being and he was all the time making us laugh. So it's become now a new tradition to tell funny stories about daddy,
Good.
And so, that's been a nice twist.
Good.
But thank you for being with us today. We're going to wrap it up. But always thankful for Sheri and how she helps us navigate our lives better and better. Wishing everybody just the most beautiful, safe, connected holiday.